Yourself. This is again Evadyne with Company. Talk worth listening to, and I really like to thank you for allowing this 2024 eclipse to bring you to this moment. Literally, this moment. We are always in a moment of new. Always. No matter what we do and how we do it, each second is a moment of new. So yeah, I'm Evadyne, and you are you. And I'm hoping that the invitation that I sent out today, that you had an opportunity to take advantage of it, of during that crossing time, which may still be happening, that you put out there your energy of what it is you want. People say your needs are more important. I say they're synonymous. If you are in tune to you, your needs and your wants are on the same page. Let no one tell you that they're not. Because if you want it, it's for you. And we're talking about good things. We're talking about goodness. We're talking about positive elements to bring into your life or the lives of your family members. I'd like to thank you all for coming on always live. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, it could be my YouTube, like ssr.com, or it could be on the Grown Folk Talking YouTube, Grown Folk Talking Express Yourself. Either one, like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell. See, that's what like SSR stands for. Like, share, subscribe. It's a constant reminder. Why would you want to do that? So that you can have notifications of when new content is going up. Share this with your friends, your family members, because we never know who needs what in this wonderful, wonderful world we're living in, and who can benefit and who can receive and then deliver to someone else who may need and want. So again, thank you. And again, I hope you took the time to just think about and put that law of attraction in place for yourself. But if you didn't, I'm going to be quiet for 30 seconds so that you can put into the atmosphere, combine your energy with the energy of the eclipse, the solar eclipse, and ask for what you want. Positive asking. 30 seconds. You can say Ashe. You can say Amen. You can say thank you. As you've asked for the things that you want and need in your life to be your happiest. We are all deserving of that. We are all deserving of true happiness and fulfillment, healthy, wealthy, wise. We're all deserving of that. I'll ask and open the floor if there are any comments regarding the solar eclipse, what it meant to you, I'll say prior to today, meaning maybe your childhood, if you remember what was told to you. I remember we were told not to look at it, but get these glasses, a lot of marketing, right? But I thought to myself, what a distraction. What a distraction. There's something so powerful. We're only told not to look directly at it. That's like don't eat watermelon rind where all the nutrients are. You got to be careful who's telling you what and why. But any comments on the solar eclipse, what it meant to you prior to, I'll say, your adulthood? I don't want to believe that I influenced anything different in your thinking today, but what it means to you, if anything. Okay. If at any point in time you have a comment, though I enjoy it very much, I don't mind taking a break from speaking. I know that there is a lot of energy in our universe. And when I speak about my website, it's actually galactic now, because no matter where you are in the galaxy, all of you who are watching and listening, you are connected to the satellites just the same. You are connected to the www. You're connected to the telephone. You're connected to the television. You're connected to everything. We are all connected. And not just with mankind's design of technology, but the universal design of technology and connectivity. We're all electrical beings. And a true example of that today, well, as you know, my antennas are very, very high. Brushing the clouds, planes are going around, and I think the spaceships are kind of moving around them now. And I was going to meet a client one block away from another client. And I said, I should go and check and see if they're available. And before I could get the BLE out and available, I got the call from the client I was going to call and check. And I said, it's amazing. And he was in Jamaica, but he heard me. The universe connected those dots before I could even get them out. Because, when you get it out, it's because you've already received it. Okay, let me speak for me. So when I speak it, it's because I've already received it, and now I'm just translating it into a language that I speak. So as I was saying it to myself, best person for me to speak to, by the way, before I could get it out totally, the universe connected the dots first, really. And the person calls me. And so after that stop, I went around, came around, and went back to the next one. It's just that easy when we pay attention. That pay attention, it's costly, but it's also free. Does that make sense? It's costly, but it's also free. It's costly when you don't, but it's free when you do. Pay attention. The things that we are asking for, the things that we are striving for, they're coming to us. Maybe not according to our watch and calendar, but as long as you keep doing the things you're supposed to do, and you're not sitting and waiting, you're not in limbo, you're not idle, you're always thinking and doing, but keeping in mind the things that you want and need to accomplish your goals. And I'm speaking about your family as well. It's not always about just you. If you are a good-hearted person, you want the best for everyone, but you start with the closest people to you. That's a good thing. Energy is powerful. Don't let it pass you by. Don't let it pass you by. Have any of you ever wondered where you get your ideas from? That's a question to the audience. Okay, so I asked that question, and again, if you're listening to this recorded, ask yourself that question and ask a few friends, where do you get your thoughts from? Most people say, from my brain. And I just think to myself, wow, I believe the brain is a transmitter. My father was an electronic genius, and maybe that's why it's just in my mind to always speak about electricity and energy. And he was an let me tell you something. That man was an electronic genius. There's nothing you could put before him that he could not repair. And his ideas for creations were unheard of, and then years later became, not through his hands, but he shared the ideas with us, with all others that I'm sure he spoke to, but later they became so. Because your ideas, I say ideas come down like rain, which means not necessarily from your brain, right? Ideas come down like rain, sometimes a mist, and it drops on so many people, but it's not for everyone to use. Some people do, some people don't. And then you have some people who will say, that was my idea. You took it from me, though you've never spoken to them before in your life. That's another legal story. But ideas come down from the Creator. Based on who we are is how we use them. And I always tell people ideas. They say, why do you always tell people your idea? I said, because it's not mine. I'm given the information and I share the information. Because along with that energy, it's knowing your purpose. Knowing your purpose. So again, maybe because of who my dad was and what he did, and I don't know which one was first, knows who he was first, and then what he did with who he was second, in terms of his business, what generated income for him. But along with that, it was shared with us, his children. And this is not just my family. Keep it in mind. It was shared with us the ability to put things together. Information, ideas, furniture, electronics. I think I told this story before because I do Uber. And I picked up this gentleman and his grandson. And the gentleman was about 72, 3-ish. Israeli, and his grandson was about 15. So he gets in my car and he says, go ahead. I mean, we spoke, exchanged, hello, how are you? So I said, okay, so I'm putting the car in gear. He said, no, go ahead. I said, I am. He says, no, the review said you're an excellent conversationalist. So go ahead. So I just laughed, right? So I said, pick a subject, like I tried to do on my comedy show like the other week. That didn't work, but it's okay. I'll be that. I'll be back, But I said, okay, go ahead. And so he said, television. So I said, transistors, picture tubes, Magnavox, Sylvania. He was like, what? He said, what do you know about that? But remember who I told you my dad was, right? And what he did. And this gentleman probably thought I was going to come up with some television shows. Good thing he was sitting. I totally shocked him because I opened up the back of the television and went inside of it and started identifying items that are used in the creation of a television. It shocked him. His grandson laughed so hard. He was so red. He laughed so hard. And it was a great conversation the rest of the way. We can't take anyone for granted, including ourselves. And when we take moments of silence to reflect on who we are, then we come to know more about ourselves, our limits, and our limitlessness. I like my word. Our limitlessness. We're unlimited. But I'm going to open up the floor. I think I said that about maybe 5 minutes ago, to see who has comments. And, we're talking about a few things. We're going to move into talking about reordering disorders, because I'm kind of sick of it. And the one thing I keep saying about 2024, it's an even year, and it's our time to get even. But the floor is open. Go ahead.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
How are we today? Hello, we can hear you. Hi.
Oh, you can hear me?
I sure can. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. I thought I had to press one. I thought I had to press one or something. I don't know. How you doing,
No,
Miss J. Shaw?
that would be on Keeping It Real with Jay Sean on Blog Talk Radio. If you want to be heard, press 1. And please tell us about your show while you're on. Hey, Jay Sean, long time. Miss you.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Miss you too. I was thinking about what you were saying a few minutes ago, because about thoughts, and I guess you would call it invisible brain waves, maybe, or something like that. But I don't know. But I know for myself personally, I'm 60 years old, and my whole life, like a lot of my friends, the people I hung out with, and I would say maybe 95% of them, I would say about 95% of my friends, they did prison stints or went to prison or something like that. I say maybe out of, I don't know, 25 of us or 30 of us or whatever, maybe me and one or two other people never went to prison. And why I say that is I'm not saying I never did nothing bad, but I'm just saying that my whole life it always seemed like, you said something about this a few minutes ago, but my whole life, ever since I've been a teenager, my whole life was, every time that I was about to get in trouble or do something that would land me in trouble, or every time something bad was about to happen, it always was something that happened that shifted the energy to something else. Let me see, maybe like, for example, I maybe went and got into an argument with somebody. And I'll tell you a different story. This happened when I was in the 10th grade in high school, and I went to Eastside High School in Patterson, New Jersey, where they made the movie Lean on Me. But I wasn't there when Joe Clark was there. I was there before that. But I went to high school. I was in the 10th grade, and I had this music class, and it was this guy in the class. His nickname was Duck. But he used to just, every day, he used to just bother me. Like, every day, he would just bother me. Every day. It was like, and it was really starting to get underneath my skin, because he was from a different part of Patterson than I was from, and a lot of times different areas didn't get along, and I think he was a junior, I was a sophomore. Either he was a sophomore and I was a freshman, one of the two. And anyway, he was older than me. He was a little bit more rougher than me, and he just would pick with me like every day. And I don't know. One day I just said that, enough is enough. And I remember the day when I went home. When I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do. And I came up with a plan. I took a chain. I got a chain, and I don't know, you can picture in your mind one of the master locks, the big master locks. And in a heavy chain, I put the master locks on the two open ends. So it's kind of like a slingshot, you would say, but not a slingshot, but something you could swing around and do a lot of damage to somebody with if you hit them with the master lock. And anyway, so I went home and I put the lock together with the chain and stuff, and I was, the next day came, and I had to I put the chain in the lock. I put it in I had an Eskimo jacket. I don't know if you probably remember the Eskimo jackets. They had the hoods on them, so I put the chain in the lock in an Eskimo hoodie, in my hoodie, because I couldn't fit it in my pockets or nothing like that. So I put it in the hoodie, and I was just waiting for that class to come, for that period to come. I don't exactly remember. It was a long time ago, but I already knew in my mind that when we went, it was a music class, so we had locker rooms. So where we would have to go across the hall to get your instrument, I played the saxophone, and the instrument, it was like a little locker room where they kept the instruments at. But that's where he would always, start with the, harassing me and stuff. So I had already made up in my mind that once we were sent over there to get the instruments, I was gonna wait for him to start harassing me or bothering me, and that's when I was gonna take the chain out, and I was gonna bust him in his head with the master lock, with a big master lock. So I was already premeditated that I was gonna do it, because I was tired of this guy bullying me. And the class started, you know what I mean, and and then it was time, everybody, the flutes go get theirs, and the clarinets, and everybody, and then they call for the saxophones to go get their instruments. And when I went to go get the instrument, and then people was leaving, I was like still in there, and then I purposely waited for him to come in there. So when he came in there, it was like something like a whole different attitude came over him. He wasn't bullying me. He wasn't teasing me. He didn't have the same attitude or demeanor that he usually had. It was like totally different. It was like he was actually being kind of nice to me. And I didn't really understand it, but I didn't rock the boat or nothing like that. And and from that day on, me and him just became best friends. Now, I don't know what happened. I don't know, but I'm just saying that because what you was talking about earlier about the energy, and somebody read your thoughts in another country, I think you said, or something like that, in Jamaica or something like that. But or where do your thoughts come from, or the energy? But I don't really know what happened that day. But all I know is that the energy shifted, and then me and him became close friends. Like from that day on, and I don't know what happened, and I never knew what happened. But I'm just telling you that story because that's just like, that happened when I was like 15. That's just one of about 20 or 25. I could sit up here and tell you so many times the things that I was about to do, even way more dangerous and way more horrific than that. Things that I was about to do, or caught up in different situations. And it just, I don't know, it just seemed like every time in my life I was about to do something, or something was about to happen to me, the atmosphere or the energy or the subconscious or whatever you want to call it, it just always shifted it. So a lot of people like to say that, oh, that's because you had a praying mother. Like when you got a praying mother or something like, I guess, the powers that be or God or people or somebody look out for you. Or I really don't know what it was, but I just know my whole life been like that. My whole life, every time I was about to do something or get in a lot of trouble or even trouble coming to me or me getting hurt or something like that, it was always something that shifted the energy. And far as even as I have been like laying in my bed. Like I can tell you, I was laying in my bed one time at like maybe 2 or 3 in the morning. I just got up. I wasn't in a hurry or nothing. Got up, took a shower, got dressed, and just something might have told me to go by a girlfriend's house, and I'll just drive over there and catch her with another man or something like that. So I don't know if I got superpowers or I'm just one lucky Negro, whatever you want to call it. But that's all I wanted to say. Like, because I was thinking about what you said about different thought waves and stuff like that. And I had a brother used to always say that it's things that's bigger than us in this world that we don't know about. It's more things going on in this world that you can't see, that you can't feel, but it's going on. And that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
That was a whole lot, and I want to thank you, Heavenly Father. I mean, that was a song, right? Yeah, I want to thank you. No, I really want to thank you for that story, because sometimes people think you're making it up. And I will ask you, if that gentleman, I mean, because you have several stories, but as I was listening to that one, if that gentleman is still present, it would be very interesting. Is he still present?
Oh, I haven't. I used to see him in passing in Patterson. His father knew him, and my father and his father used to work at Brogan Cadillac together before it went out of business. But I haven't. All I know is his name. His nickname was Duck. But I haven't seen him or heard from him in a long. Maybe if I asked somebody and looked him up, I could find him. But I know, but people, that's how I wrote my first book, because I'm always telling stories about my life, and they used to be like, man, you need to write a book. So that's how I wrote my first life story. But yeah, they all be true stories. I don't think I can make nothing up like that one. That really happened.
Jay Sean, tell us about all of that, because I'm going to say our first encounter, the one, because I listen to that all the time, right? Not all the time, I just go to sleep. But I listened to that first podcast on your show, Keeping It Real with Jay Sean, that I was on. You kept saying, you people don't understand when something is happening. You don't understand. That's what you kept saying about our encounter on your show. And so say it again.
I said, I did. I don't remember, but probably so.
Oh yeah. I'll send it to you. But so it's not about me, and it's not about you. And as you mentioned that, I was about to say my favorite phrase is "it's bigger than us," but you said it first with your brother. I just smiled when I heard you say that, because it is bigger than us, and it's all about paying attention. But please tell the listeners about you. I'm supposed to be interviewing you. One day I will. But in the meantime, tell us about you, what you've done, where they can find you, about your podcasts, your books, your movies, because what you actually just said was so real that anyone who heard that should be very interested in being part of seeing more of your project, if you don't mind.
I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. Well, but I don't know if everybody know that. now that I'm older, I tell people that it was a blessing and it was a curse. The reason why it was a blessing because I believe like that's the why I can control a crowd and I talk so well and well not proper well, but I can hold a conversation and I could talk and to anybody, somebody from the ghetto or somebody from the suburbs, and I believe I owe that to because my mother was a Jehovah's Witness she was Jehovah's Witness for most of it. She died when she was about 86. I think she probably was a Jehovah's Witness maybe 60 years out of that. So I was born into it. But I think it was a blessing because I remember my mother, once I never really liked the religion. I kind of like hated it the older I got. And she used to always make me read. We got the Watchtowers and all the other, I can't remember the other books, and Watchtowers and Awakes and different books and Bibles and stuff like that. So once I got about 12 or 13, I kind of like started to rebel a little bit against that. And so she kind of reversed it on me. She was like, well, because I always had to read every night to my mother. So, and I didn't want to read any more Jehovah's Witness literature. She was smart because she said, well, now that I know, she was like, well, you don't got to read no Jehovah's Witness literature, but you're going to read something. So she didn't care what it was, but long as I read something every night. So, and it went from an hour a night to 45 minutes to 30 minutes to the older I got, the more I didn't want to do it. But now I know that I owe all my intellect far as me writing, I don't even know, 7 or 8 books and maybe 13 movies I have written and directed. I kind of owe all that to her now from making me read and write so much when I was young. But the religious part of it, I kind of hated it. Because I believe, just me, I believe that Jehovah's Witness religion is a religion that you shouldn't be able to be a Jehovah's Witness until you're 18 years old, until you can make your own decisions. That's just me. I know that sounds redundant or whatever, but because all parents make all children Baptist, Catholic, whatever they are, that's what you do when you're young. But being young and being a Jehovah's Witness is a whole nother ball game. Like it really can damage you if your brain is not right for it. Like, and I guess my brain wasn't right for it because I couldn't understand how you couldn't celebrate birthdays and Christmas and just all the different things you couldn't do. But now, like I said, now I'm older, I understand that, a lot of people couldn't do them things. But when you're young, I'm not really worrying about a lot of people. I'm worrying about me. And so I kind of consider it like a cult. But it was so traumatic to me mentally that when I wrote my first book, people said, man, like, yo, why you talked about your mother like that in your book, man? Like people, I wrote so real my first book that people thought I was saying I hate my mother, but think they stupid. Like, that's crazy. I love my mother, but I hated that religion, and that she was the one that was bringing the religion to me. So I kind of had a dislike for that, for if I love my mother, but she's a Jehovah's Witness, but she making me be a Jehovah's Witness. I mean, it's a thin line. You know what I mean? How they say it's a thin line between love and hate or whatever. It was a thin line between that because I hated that religion. And by the time, yeah, go ahead.
So there's power in what you just said. There's some people who have student loans to go to school for journalism, who go to school for communication, to learn to do the things that you've learned. And not, it was in you already. Your mom and dad were intelligent. It was in you already. But being in
my mom was intelligent. My mom's was intelligent.
It cultivated, being a part of that religion cultivated you to your professional level to do the things that you artistically were destined to do without a student loan. Not to say you didn't go to college, I don't know, but in that capacity, because yes, I was too. Now, I was a Jehovah's Witness because I was baptized, as you know. And I always say, well, even before that, I loved walking across the stage in the second grade in a play reciting My Shadow of Robert Louis Stevenson. I loved the sound of the click, click, click on the wood stage. I was like, this is nice. Right? This is nice. And when I was young, I wanted to be a teacher because I like being in front of the room. This is even before the Jehovah's Witnesses again. But yes, we are developed and directed in so many different ways, and it's powerful when you can reflect back and see what it did for you. And then you say thank you. You know, first of all, you can say thank you because you're still here. You know, you're alive, you lived through it. But it's looking at those and sharing it. I met this gentleman who was 72. He was about 74. And he told me, he said, Mitzi, he called me Mitzi. His wife died and he had 3 daughters. He said the first Jehovah Witnesses that knocked on his door, he turned his daughters over to them. Because the one thing he knew about the religion, in spite of what they teach and whether it's real or fake, I want to go. Wait for me. He knew that they were safe. That his girls would be safe in the hands of those sisters. So he turned his daughters over to them, you know, to do the studying and everything. And to this day, they are witnesses, as they call them. They are witnesses. So everything has a purpose, and it's up to you to kind of discern what works for you moving further. Because even on a job, we could go on a job because we like that they're paying us $100,000 a year. We may not like all the ingredients that we have to do in that job, and as long as it's not against your moral standard, you're going to go ahead, do it, but you're going to cash that check and buy your house and buy your car and take care of your family. So we don't like all the ingredients, but it's the end game. But definitely, when you're young, you don't really see the end game. But thankfully, you are able to not only reflect on it, but to share that information. I just want to put a piece in before you switch from the Jehovah's Witnesses. I Uber. And one day I was doing Uber Eats, and I now call this McUber. I delivered a McDonald's package to this gentleman in Queens. On the packages, I would always put my business page, and on there was my book. Suicide is a Serious Killer, Let's End It Today, and Mind is to Mental as Teeth Are to Dental, right? He called me about maybe 30 minutes later. So he says, are you the person who delivered the Uber? I said, I am. He started kind of, querying me. He started questioning me. In a certain kind of way, because in the end, he was saying he was asking me those questions to see if I was just trying to capitalize on mental health with the book, or if I knew what I was talking about. I said, and, but because we were already now an hour into the conversation, we spoke for 4 hours. We were like an hour into the conversation. Yeah, it was, and of course, I Uber eated all that night with him because I couldn't pick up people, but I wasn't going to end the conversation, you know? This gentleman, watch this. I hope you're sitting. We talked. I passed his test, right? I passed his test. Not only, Jay Sean, was he suicidal, and in the end, he said, I helped him more than any of the therapists he's ever gone to.
Wow.
But he also listens to your show. He listens to your show, Jay Sean, because when we were talking, he was a Jehovah's Witnesses, and one of the greatest downfalls is that they separate you from family if your family is not. And he was baptized at age 11, which is too young by their standard. You're not supposed to be able to get baptized until you're 12. But he was baptized at age 11, and he saw the light. He saw the light. So he stepped out of it, right? But his family was all in it. And the one thing he was missing was his sisters and being able to engage with them and their children and his mom. And that's why he was suicidal. Because he was missing that family. So you got to really be careful about what you do. Now, people, they believe they're believing in God and going to heaven, all that other wonderful stuff. So whatever the sacrifices you have to make, that's what you have to make for the greater good of going to heaven. But see, I have this new phrase. I don't know if your brother has it. Heaven on earth. You should be living heaven on earth. Whatever it is that it's supposed to be. You are supposed to be the happiest. But here we go. And I'm gonna stop here. I said to him, I want to introduce you to someone, which was going to be you, Jay Sean, because he was a gentleman and he had been in that system. Hold on one second. So I'm sorry, I did say hold on, right? What the heck am I doing? So.
Oh, you can reverse it if it makes it easier. Like grab that one and reverse it.
So, okay. So I was going to introduce him to you again, man to man. I'm not trying to be a bro. But you had so much in common. And the fact that you were you both saw the light, you stepped out, and I felt that, you could kind of handle this together. When I mentioned your show, he says, I listen. Like, of all the shows in the world, and don't get me wrong, yours is good. Like, what are the chances that we're in New York? I deliver Uber to him. He is in need of the information that I'm sharing. We have all of those wonderful things in common. And so I was able to help him more than any of the therapists because I too had been in that system, right? I had been in that system and I understood it. And a therapist would not understand it, did not understand it. That's why I was able to help him more than any other therapist because I understood the internal craziness.
Yeah, you've been there.
I've been there and done that. That was so freaking incredible. And then, of course, he was a listener. Keeping it real with Jay Sean. That was. You know what that was the antennas. That was the antennas and the paying attention and.
That's deep.
That was the antennas, the paying attention. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Go ahead, Jay Sean. You can go ahead and talk.
Okay. So I forgot where I left off at, but so I was talking about how my mother used to always make me read and stuff like that. So how it was like I said, the religion was a blessing and a curse. Because I remember in my later teens, maybe 16, 17, something like that. And I hung on this block out here in Patterson, New Jersey, 17th Ave. and with the rest of my friends, and I still used to keep a book in my back. I used to always have something in my back pocket, like a book or something. I was always reading. And, we would be out there they'd be out there selling drugs or whatever. And it just was like people like knew, like, and it like, why you always, like, you always got a book. You always read a book. Like, you always got a book. Like, I could be breaking into somebody's house with my friends, and I could have a book in my back pocket, Alex Haley autobiography, or just loud top sound, whatever. I have something in my, I love autobiographies, like, so it was just something that my mother, I guess, put in me, and it just never left me. I just picked it up, and I just love reading, and I love writing, and I guess that's how I wind up writing the books and stuff like that. And that kind of I wrote my first book, and that kind of propelled me. I was like, okay, well, maybe this is a gift that I got, because everybody got a gift from God. Everybody got a gift. It's wait a minute, fire station, fire. That's all you hear out here. They say everybody got a gift from God. Is what you do with it is your gift back to God. You know what I mean? So I found out, and I didn't find this out until maybe in my 40s, that my gift was that I had a gift for writing. Till I think I wrote my first book in 2008. I did. I wrote my first book in 2008. It's the title is The Patterson Pimp. That's my first book I wrote in 2008, and it was an autobiography on my life story, and it was strange, kind of strange the way it happened, because I think I was in a car accident, and I was in the house, and I hurt my leg, so I just started. Everybody used to always tell me, man, you need to write a book, man. You need to write a book, man, because I was always telling different stories and scenarios of my life, trials and tribulations. I start writing a book, and then I finished the book. I didn't know a damn thing about writing a book. I didn't know nothing in 2008. I didn't know nothing about being a self-published author. I just started going to different seminars and going to libraries and doing research and all kind of stuff like that. I think my first book might have cost me like $3,000 just to get it printed out. Like $3,000. I mean, you could write a book now for like, what, $50 or $10, or you just write it and take a picture of yourself with your iPhone and put it on the cover and have somebody put it into book form, like maybe $50. But yeah, the whole process cost me about $3,000 because I didn't know. So I was just paying people. I had to pay somebody to edit it. And I had to pay somebody to a company to put it into in book form, and then I had to pay a company to have it printed out into, print out the books. And I used to have to pay $250 just to get 50 copies of my book. I used to have to pay $250 just to get 50 copies. That was in 2008, but that's because I didn't really know. And anyway, to make a long story short, go ahead.
Please give us the titles of all of your books and tell us where we can find your books, and also your YouTube.
The first book I wrote was called The Patterson Pimp. That's in 2008. It's on Amazon. That's an autobiography of my life. The second book I wrote was called My Soul is Still Pimping. I wrote that one in 2010, I think. That's on Amazon. And then my third book I wrote was called How She Became a Hoe. The titles is kind of, that lets you know where my mind was at when I was first writing, and that's on Amazon. And then I wrote a children's book called Smart Like Me. And then after that, I wrote a book. I met this guy. Who's my best friend now. He's in a wheelchair. He was born with muscular dystrophy. He's 46, and they gave him like 12 years to live. He'd been confined to a wheelchair since he was, I think, 12. He couldn't talk for 4 years. He got a trach in his throat. His mother was on drugs. He's 46, and he was only given 12 years to live. His name is Andre Wood. That's Andre I'm talking about, Evadyne. I wrote his life story. It's called the Andre Williams story. That's on Amazon. That's that's about my best seller, I'll say, to this day. Either my first or my second, the Andre Williams story. And then I helped self-publish a couple of other books, but I don't really promote those anymore because the people I self-published them with, we had differences. But if you go on Amazon and you just put in the Andre Williams story by Randy J. Sean Jackson, you should be able to see all my books up there. And then from there I went on and then I wrote my first movie. It's called The Bottom. I wrote my first movie in 2015. That was a spinoff from my first book. And the movie is called The Bottoms, because you spell it Bottum. That's on YouTube. And then I got about 12 other movies short movies well, The Bottom got 10 episodes, but I got other short movies on Amazon. If you ever want to see them, go to YouTube and just put in, this one is one that always comes up, The Honest Sinner by Randy J. Sean Jackson. That's a movie I wrote, The Honest.
Saw that one. I love that one. That was a twister. I love that.
Yeah, The Honest. They like short movies because what I do, my idea was to make pilots, and then if somebody wanted to pick them up and fund them, so I got a bunch of them, like The Honest Sinner. What's another one I got up there? Let me see. The Bottom, The Honest Sinner. I'm trying to think of the other one I got up there. It's a good one. About the young guy that was a basketball star. I can't think of it right now. I got so many up there, but if you go up there, it'll come up. And I got another one up there called Chat Line, about the dangers of the internet. And then I got another one up there called A Time to Pay. Another one called 16 Bars. What else I got up there? I got another movie up there with me and the guy I'm telling you about called Dre. Me and him is in the movie. It's called A Brother's Promise. That's up there. And just a lot of stuff that I have written, stuff that's up there. And now I got the podcast on Friday nights on Blog Talk Radio. Every Friday night at 8:00. It's all audio. You just call in 563-999-37. Yeah, 563-999-3718. And on Friday nights, if it's an adult podcast. We just talk about everything up there. No holds bar. We talk about, that's where you want to go on a Friday night if you just want to talk about everything from side chicks to side dudes to fake love, real love, honesty, pain, the swingers life. It's a lot of relationship talk. It's a lot of relationship advice. a lot of sex talk and just stuff like that. I probably tooted my horn enough.
Permission to speak for a minute?
I know that voice. What's going on, Lee?
What's going on? Is Evadyne, you there? Listen, what I want to say is grand rising to everybody that's on the line. I'll come in peace. What I want to say about what Jay Sean was saying about his YouTube channel and the stuff that he has up here, he's really being modest. I'm going to tell y'all, I've been up there. I watched just about all of them, and they're great. When I tell you great, you know the old saying, I don't know how old anybody is on here. You know how the old saying is, when you eat one, you just can't eat one. If you watch one movie, you won't be able to just watch one movie. You're going to want to watch more and more. And I want to say thanks to Evadyne, because Evadyne was the one who sent me there. And when I went there, you're not going to be able to watch this one. I often told this brother that he's wasting his talent, and he should be making movies, because all of them are great. And what I want to do is I want to rap right now.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I guess I owe it all to growing up. I owe it all to growing up a Jehovah's Witness, Evadyne. Growing up a What? Oh, I know the name of another movie I was talking about.
Solar Eclipse. I'm going to say you owe it to being true to you and to paying attention and to using your thinking wisely and to making sure that you reflect.
Right.
Reflection is very important, you know? Leon, thank you. Reflection is very important. I don't want to leave anyone out.
Evadyne, I just want to say one thing. I remember the name of the other movie. It's good up there, Stolen Dream. If you want to see a good movie, put it Stolen Dream by Randy J. Sean Jackson. That's one of my favorites too.
Don't miss the messages. Every last one of those short clips up there, they all have a message to them. Don't miss the message. Yes. Great message.
So Leah, maybe we should do a talk after the movie, not a talk after the talk. So maybe we should put something together to watch Jay Sean. Jay Sean, we're speaking to you, not around you or above you. Put something together where we watch the movie and we have conversation and everything is not about money, but it doesn't hurt to generate it no matter what you decide to do with it, because I just start setting up the young people in your life if you don't need it. But I wanted to take a commercial break, Jay Sean. I absolutely appreciate you coming on today, and it was perfect because normally you're working at this hour and we don't get to have you. We don't get to have you, but
I was just sitting here because it was it was the eclipse, so I got off early, so I was like, and I said, I got your text, and I'm like, I always want to catch a show, but a lot of time I'm working. I'm like, let me call in. I always do be, let me call in and just listen. And that's what but I'm a talker, so I'm gonna wind up. I hear you saying too many. If I hear you saying too many times, do you anybody got anything to say? I can't just be quiet too many times. Like I gotta say something. I gotta.
That's so sweet of you. But just like you, if nobody has anything to say, I just go right back in queue, right? Because so, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to my YouTube, like SSR.com. Like SSR.com. I have YouTube on there. It's me talking to me with you in mind, because ideally it was supposed to be a roast. I wanted to roast myself. Not that I think I'm all that, but I dang on sure ain't gonna hear it when I'm dead. So if you got something to say, I wanted to hear you say it, even if it's good, even if it's bad, even if it's funny. But it was like, I think it was during the pandemic, but nobody showed up but moi, which is me, everybody.
Evadyne, can I say one thing? Can I say one more quick thing?
Yes.
All right, I just want to say one. Hey, Leon, you still on?
Yeah, I'm still
Leon.
I'm still here, brother.
Okay. Leon, was you on when I was saying that every time in my life when something was about to happen to me, something stopped and changed it? Did you hear me say that?
No, I didn't hear you say that, brother.
Oh, you wasn't on. I was telling everybody how every time in my life when I was about to get in trouble or something was about to happen to me, my whole life, something always changed it in the atmosphere or some powers that be or whatever. So Evadyne, I can't say too much about it, but Leon can bear witness to what I'm saying. Even recently, a couple of months ago, right, Leon?
Yeah.
I was in a terrible situation. It could have been very, very, very life-threatening to me. And then out of nowhere, something happened, and it saved the day. Am I telling the truth?
Telling the truth.
Yeah.
That's powerful. And so thank you for that. And so we say, pay attention. Pay attention. It's like, just as it could be in Jay Sean's examples, something that's about to happen, and when you step out of it, you realize, dang, if I was there 2 minutes earlier or 2 minutes later, I would have been a part of that. It could also be good. It could also be good. So start reflecting on your life. You know, I have it in my book. My books are so wonderful. Oh my God, my books are so good. Okay, my books are so good. And let me tell you who my co-author is. My co-author is the creator. But I am super fascinated by my ability to listen. And I gather information as well. But all of that gathering information has to do with my co-author. And my books are about saving and changing lives and giving resources. But I do have it in my book. Pay attention. Take a moment of silence. Before you go to sleep, review your day and some of the things that happened in it while you're laying down, not even on your feet, while you're off your feet. Lay and review. And when you wake up in the morning, you might have to get up and go to the bathroom, but come back if you have time and lay down and reflect on your dream. Reflect on your night, your overnight, and the preparing for your day. It's so important to take a minute. We jump up, the universe has a way of doing things. That 2.5 year thing that we went through where everything was shut down, people's lives change. We're not talking about the passing of people. Just the time that people had to be the heck, I love cussing, be the heck still. Right? People had an opportunity, forced opportunity to be still. And so many people made so much of themselves, started their own businesses, no matter how small or how large, they started their own businesses. You know how many vehicles are out here now doing delivery and filing 1099s and not W-2s because they're in business for themselves? Something that we're not taught. So, reflection. Let me put in a few commercials. They will be me as well. So here's a few commercials. You're on Grown Folks Talk, Express Yourself, Progressive Podcast Network. This is Evadyne with Evadyne with Company. Talk worth listening to, and I hope it has been. Thank you, Jay Sean, and I hope it has been. I am on Mondays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and following my show at 8:30, we have King David with, I wrote it down, it's called BS, but it really stands for you taking care of yourself, basic, not BS like in, nonsense, but it's about you. It's in my message. Somebody give it to me. It's about you understanding you knowing what's needed for you to be healthy and how he can help or how we can all help each other. But a lot of what he'll talk about is valuable, a lot of what he'll speak about is valuable. What I love is that in the end, what can I do for you? What do you want from me? Those are the questions he asks. Because a lot of times we give, but if nobody out there want what you're giving, So he asks the question, what can I do for you? How can I help you? So that's Mondays, 8:30, following my show. Every morning at 7 a.m., there's a prayer line. I can't really tell you how it goes. I just hear that it's really wonderful. Everyone, you can put in prayer requests. There's music. It's a good flow for kind of getting in tune to self and asking for what you need. Just a side note, I have this idea that there's no need to pray, as prayer is described. In my head, everything is known. The work is doing your part and getting it done. Because if the Creator knows everything, you don't have to have that personal conversation. You don't need to go and ask. My head says that. All you have to do is do the work that you want to lead toward. Because somewhere in the book, that's the book, it says, meet me halfway. Faith without works is not like having faith at all. So that's a good combination. So the Creator knows what you need. That's why we're talking about energy. The Creator knows what you need and what you want. Again, synonymous. You could pray if that's what you need to do. I have conversations. So maybe just a change of wording. I have conversations, but I do my work. And I will tell you, if I'm doing my work to get something I need and it's not working, then I say, hey, now it's up to you. That's what I say. That's how I talk, to the Creator. Hey, got to get your attention, And it happens. Every single thing I ask for, I receive. And it's not immediate. And it comes through mankind. But I know it's not man. And because I'm paying attention, I know when it arrives. And I just look up and say, thank you. That's all, And because we're vessels. We're vessels for messages. Tuesdays, Grace Space at 6 p.m. with Jada. Excellent show. Grace Space. 7:30 p.m., the Pink Sofa Talk with Carol Lucille. Listen to 520-525-8633. Get the entire show lineup. It's changing. Every other Thursday, we have Michael Tyson, who's helping you create community health clubs. Come on to the show. You can listen in. If you want to create a health club with you, your friends, your family, your church, come on board. This is going to lead into the medical piece. Also, if you go to the doctor and get blood work done for your physical, get copies. Get copies of your last 5 years and send them, he's going to kill me, but send them to jhickey@invitehealth.com. jhickey@invitehealth.com. He's a pharmacist. He's a nutritionist. He knows his business. He'll review that. Ask him. Tell him I sent you, Evadyne. He'll review it because the white coats have a very interesting business. I'm not sure how many of you know it, but the white coats have a business of medicine. And so what you want to do is you want to be in the business of better health. You want to know what's going on in your body before you have a symptom. I think, I would like to think, by a show of hands, and of course I can see through the phone, how many people here know their blood type? Okay. I only see 4 people raising their hands. Knowing your blood type is so critical to how you eat. Your blood type determines the type of food you should eat. And Michael Tyson will tell you, the blood is the power of your body. And maybe he doesn't have to tell you. You may know this. Your blood is the power of your body. So Michael Tyson, he actually sells, he's a distributor for wheatgrass, which helps to give your body the nutrients and minerals that it needs. It helps your blood be the best it can be. That's probably a little bit of a commercial too. But anyway, Michael Tyson, check him out. Now, I wanted to talk about some health things. Do I have permission? Do I have permission? Okay, well, I guess I have permission. So here we go. I'm going to start at the bottom because the Eve syndrome that the agenda makers put in place, women are always last on the totem pole. So I'm going to start at the bottom of the message that I sent out with mammograms. Ladies and gentlemen who may get them now too, there is no need. Oh, wait. If there's any gentleman on here who's had a mammogram or a breast examination, because men get breast cancer also, please tell me exactly how they do it, because I darn well know, I love cussing, right? I darn well know that they don't take your breast and stick it between two metal objects and squeeze it until tomorrow. So anyway, ladies, opt out of the mammogram and opt in for the sonogram. Tell them, just tell them anyway. I have dense breast. I always have to do a sonogram after. So just do the sonogram if you're going to do anything at all. Because my head said, if there is something in there, let's just say a tumor, a cyst, that's not really happy about being there, you squeezing that thing to death, you're going to make it pop. You're going to annoy it. It could have been nothing that you just made something come back up off of me, because I don't even go anymore, right? But back up. Okay, men with your prostate, always get a second opinion. Please, on Sirius Radio, we had Joe Madison, who passed February 1st. And then he took Dr. James, because they building this really major team that's going to do some real serious stuff out here for us as angels. But he had prostate cancer. But on his show today, Joe Madison, because they're doing the best of Joe Madison, he had these three gentlemen on. All friends, grew up together. They all had cancer at the same time. Different types. Now, what annoyed one of them is that the other one, they never knew. You never knew. Like, how you my bestie and I don't know what you're going through? Because people, because of the branding of certain disorders, people don't want to tell you what's going on. Like they, wrote out an invitation, sent it to their cells and say, go get this, which is not happening, right? But people don't want to talk about their health conditions. The more you talk about it, the more you learn. But I remember going with this gentleman. It's funny. Boy, I'm not supposed to be funny today. But I used to take these gentlemen to the New York Urological Institute in Sheepshead Bay in Brooklyn. They're Russian, and I really like them because you go there, and they don't just do prostate, they're not just urological, they do GYN and medical, they do a lot of different things. But what I like is that they have the machines downstairs, so you see the doctor upstairs, he sends you downstairs to get the test, you come back upstairs and get the results. That's what I call a good visit. I don't want to get a referral and go see somebody in 2 weeks and then come back to you in 3 weeks to get the result. Well, please stop. That's ridiculous. So that's what I like about them. So I used to take my friends, right? But I took a family member one day. And my vision is pretty good. So from afar, I could see the PSA said, I think it was 2 or 3. But he told the doctor, he said, your PSA is 7.3. So we're going to set you up, for the next level of test. And I'm thinking, I don't think I saw that. So I just asked him if I could have a copy. I'm with you, why not? So I asked the doctor if I could have a copy. And when I got home, this was in March, as a matter of fact, it was the same month my mom passed. When I got home and settled in, I opened up the results. They weren't his. So the doctor was reading someone else's report, not on purpose. So I called him up and let him know, and he looked at it and it was like 1.2, something like that. You have to always double check results get your second opinions, and then look at the different protocols that are used and what people are saying. I hear from health food store owners who are very knowledgeable that cancer is a fungus. Let me say that. Cancer is a fungus. So any antifungal foods, supplements that you could use them before you get a diagnosis. Because we never know what's going on. We don't know what we're breathing in. I was so grateful for the masks during COVID because it kept us healthier just from the air that we're breathing in and the small molecular structures that we have no idea are going into our bodies. So I was grateful for the masks for that. Always get a second opinion. Always get your readings. Always get your lab work. And send your lab work to 2 or 3 people so you could hear. Because again, with the white coats, their idea of normal, when they look at ranges, is different from, let's say, homeopathic practitioners or naturopathic practitioners, of knowing what is actually a normal range. Because, I don't know if you remember, but we're a herd of folks. We're a herd of cattle, right? So, wait, before I continue, am I being heard? Testing, 1, 2, 9, 14, 22.
Hear me? I could hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. I didn't want to run on like the A-Train Express, but okay, thank you. So, no, listen.
I got bumped off.
Oh, well, welcome back, Bumper.
Try not to touch the phone, otherwise I get bumped off.
Oh, well, thank you for calling. Did you say permission to speak, sir?
Just a warm greeting to each and everyone on the call this afternoon.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just a warm greetings to each and everyone on the call this afternoon.
Oh, thank you very much. Is this Mixed Breed?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
Hey, Mixed Breed. How are you?
I'm well. I'm actually going to go pick up my little one right now from school. I was just getting the mail. And,
okay, very good.
I was getting out of the conversation, but I was listening to everything. I think I heard you speaking about the blood work, but I wanted to say to that brother earlier that he was saying that something always intervened when he was going to get into a situation. My brother, you are definitely covered. You're definitely, you're definitely, protected, guided and protected and covered by the divine creator. So that's what we call divine intervention. It's like, for example, we in the streets thugging and, shots are firing, but you don't get hit. And I mean, shots are firing, but you don't get hit. That's divine intervention. So just know that you are covered. You are definitely guided and protected by the divine creator. So that's divine intervention. So you just got to be grateful and always give thanks, because I say that to say this, man. I was just in New York a few days ago. Last week, and I got back to my hometown, where I currently live now. I got back to Texas on my birthday, and then I got a call before I left New York. One of my friends, they pulled the plug on him. He was in a coma for like 16 days, caught a stroke. Older brother, know the family. He actually used to. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this kid named Zekwe. He passed away on my birthday. So I just say that to say, and also one of my relatives was buried. My grandmother's sister, which is my first lady. That's my first lady. Like, that's my mother's mother. That's who changed my diapers when my mom had to go to work, and they asked us when we was younger, you want to go to the hospital or you want to go to grandma's house? You want to go by granny or you want to go to the hospital? I always say granny because I never like hospitals. So no disrespect. My sister's a doctor, but I never like needles and prescription. I never like hospitals. I always had, it always made me feel more sick when I get in there since I was young. Me being born in St. Mary's Hospital, always seeing blood everywhere. I just never liked hospitals. So, Granny was always the number one option. I don't care if I was, my vision was going blank, and that happened one time. My vision was literally like I lost vision and I started throwing up. And my mom was like, "Wow, she didn't understand what was going on." And this was like I was young, man. I don't remember what age, but yeah, she said, "Where you want to go? You want to go home or you want to go to Granny's house?" And I always chose Granny's house. Grandma she always put something together to make you feel better. She always did something. I don't know. They have special powers, grandmamas. But yeah, I just want to say that, man. Life is, this realm is short. But when you move on to the next realm, that's a whole different ball game. I can't even speak on that. But I know my grandmama. She saw where she was going when she passed, and she told us it was beautiful. So I know she's in a better place. She wrote us a letter too, and they read it. They read it to us at her funeral service. So just a lot of little things that we definitely need to pay attention to, and knowing your blood type is very important. So yeah, just want to touch on those.
Thank you.
Few of the key points real quick.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And Mixed Breed, tell us what you do quickly, and how people can reach you.
Okay, so at the moment, what I do for work, or just do in general, what I love to do. But what I love to do is music. Music is what I love to do. I'm a brand ambassador, marketing specialist. Working on developing, the agency's already been developed, the digital marketing agency, and there's a lot of things coming down the pipeline. But what I do now, I teach. So I teach in the Houston Independent School District, and also I'm a solar panel instructor. But I'm a field guy, so naturally I'm in the field. With all due respect, I'm not a behind the desk, sit down on the computer kind of guy, except if I'm doing my work. So I'm not. I like to be outside in nature, dealing with all the bugs and the birds and the bees and all of the other stuff. So I don't care how bad the weather is, how good the weather is. I'm always outside working on, that's what I like to do. I've worked with the gas company for, I think, started like 2013, and I stopped working with them at 2021. Definitely Minister of Transportation, health and wellness advocate, health and wellness coach. Right now, I'm pushing to go through my 90-day fast. So yeah, I'm doing I do a lot of, in my opinion, conscious living. Things that make sense, or public service, needs of people, needs that service and that help the people and that help the greater good. So I'm into green energy now, which is going to help. And this should have been a thing a long time ago. But not only just everything going electric, no, there's other ways, and there's other like things that you can put in your gas tank to just let it burn cleaner so it doesn't harm the atmosphere. So I'm into all the type of green energy. And yeah, I'm a field guy by heart. Like by nature, I'm a field guy. So, and just now I'm going to get into my my cultivating, my farming. I have a lot of land to farm on. So, I mean, within the U.S. and abroad. So, yeah, I'm just getting my act together with life in of itself. And just, going with the flow, traveling this journey and learning as I go. So, but yeah, what I like to do is brand ambassadorship, marketing, yeah, things like that. So a brother that has a book and a movie and stuff like that, definitely interested in taking a look at those things and seeing your work, and definitely interested in promoting, helping you promote it and get it out to people, because within this life we all learn lessons. So yeah, I'm just a connoisseur of life. Wow, they are driving very crazy, and yeah, they were driving.
Well, I thank you for that. Is there a contact number, website, or email you'd like to share?
Sure. If you want to reach me directly, you can follow me on social media at Real Mixed Breed, or that's RealMixxBreed on Instagram, and it's the same profile picture, Instagram and Facebook, but directly you can email me at themixedbreed@gmail.com. That's THAMIXBREED. THAMIXBREED
I think it's you who's breaking up a little bit, unless it's me. Is it him or me? You were breaking up. Did you give your phone number or your email?
Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the highway. Once you're on the highway.
Okay, was it your email or your phone number you were giving in the end? And,
it's the mixedbreed@gmail.com. THA. And my direct number is 929-427-7937.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And appreciate you coming on and listening in. Okay. Leon, Eyes with the Vision. Thank you, Mixed Breed. Leon, Eyes with the New Vision. Can you tell us about you, your organization, and how people can reach you? Come on, brother. Come on. Come on, brother. Come on. Leon?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm here. I had to take myself off of mute. Yes, my organization is called Eyes with a New Vision. It's a nonprofit 501c. And what we do is we go around speaking to the sighted world about the blind world. What we do is we try to teach. And we don't try, we definitely do teach. I came up with another slogan that I've added to that. We have a couple slogans, but I came up with another one. And that was working together to bridge the gap between the sighted world and the world that's under the umbrella of vision loss. And we have our own podcast. It's called Eyes with a New Vision Support Group. We're on every last Wednesday of the month. The telephone number to come into that podcast is 520-525-8064. Our next show that's coming out will be on the 24th of this month. I will be interviewing a stem cell doctor that's curing a lot of things through stem cells. Also have my nurse practitioner coming on and my therapist coming on. I always felt like, or we feel like, when we do these type of shows, we need the professional people on, so we don't have to make the disclaimer of what I'm not. And so with that being said, thank you for the airspace and opportunity. Anybody that's here that comes on Grown Folks Talking on Wednesday, they have a show on Wednesday. Please go to that show. And you can come on mine after that show, which is about 7:30, 7:45. I'll still be on, going strong. And so with that, thank you, Evadyne, for the time and the space. I appreciate you.
I know. No, I'm going to get it. So, the show he mentioned on Wednesday before him is John Monroe with Vision Care. And for that, you can go to Dr. No. You said on Wednesday the show comes on here on Grown Folk, and then your show.
I thought, correct me, but I thought that was the domestic dispute show that comes on.
Okay, so Francesca no longer silent.
Right, she comes on at 6. I come on at 7, and she usually goes about 7:30, 7:45. That's what I was mentioning.
Okay. So let me just finish with everyone who's listening. If you have vision issues and would like some alternative resolution, some alternative ideas, go to Dr. Dr. Banker, BANKER.com. And there you will find a lot of videos, resources, and information to help with vision loss. And when Leon mentions under the umbrella of vision loss, if you wear glasses, right or wrong, Leon, you are under the umbrella of vision loss. You don't have to be blind But if you're using anything to help you see anything, then you are also under the umbrella of vision loss. And Mixed Breed mentioned something that reminded me of the Dr. Sebi clip that I saw online where the lady was thanking Dr. Sebi for curing her husband of blindness. He said, I did not treat a gentleman for blindness. He treated him for something abdominal, gastrointestinal, in his belly. And for the first time in 11 years, the man could see again. So when Mixed Breed said he kept throwing up and he was like losing his vision, well, throwing up is abdominal and vision is your eyesight. We have no idea the complexity, but also the simplicity of the greatest machine ever created, which is our bodies. That's why you really need to know. Now, Dr. Oz has a book titled You, Understanding the Human Body. It's the only manual for the human body that I've ever seen. I mean, we did have Encyclopedia Britannica, and I used to love going through it and looking at it. It was like these clear, colorful sheets, almost every time you turn a page, it would open you up to something different. But when it was closed, you could see the whole body. But I've been in medicine I've been in healthcare since I was a kid. Just paying attention to the creator and doing the things I need to do. But it's very important to look at those things. Okay, let's go with cancer. Cancer, and I just want to run through this really quickly because we're going to run out of time. Cancer is a fungus. It is said that when they find a tumor, that is your body's natural process of creating a dumping ground for cancer cells, a garbage can for those cancer cells to be stored in. So check it out. I just repeat what I hear, but it made sense to me because usually if they find a tumor, cancer, they use that big word, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. They use that big word to go and do some really invasive stuff in your body. And then they want to follow it up with, we're going to do this and this to make sure we got them all and to keep the cancer cells going. But there are people who are on chemotherapy for life. And then they move to immunotherapy. Well, immuno sounds like immune system. So do I want medication to build up my immune system? I'm sorry. Do I want pharmaceutical chemicals to build up my immune system or to manage my immune system? Or do I want to learn how to build up my own immune system to kill off these radicals? They're radicals, like the folks who come to your house and eat your food and don't pay you nothing. They're radicals. Well, understand the possibility of what I am saying being true. The tumor is the garbage can that the body has developed to capture the cancer cells. Fine. If you want them to go in and remove the tumor, peace. Take it, go play with it, send it to all your friends around the world, because they do that, the research facilities. But then know the anti-cancer, antifungal foods that you could take in, like turmeric and sea moss, moringa, those things that will kill, which kind of replace chemo, that will kill anything that they didn't get, that didn't get captured. I met a lady, she had colon cancer, which they say is one of the fastest and most deadliest. She let them cut it out. They gave her a whole protocol of chemo and radiation. She said, no, I'm good. They said, no, if you don't do this, you're going to die. You only have like 3 to 6 months. She said, I'm good. I'm talking to the lady. It's 5 years later. What did she do? Moringa, sea moss, turmeric with the black pepper. She did the natural things that she had already looked into when she got her diagnosis. She knew that was going to be her aftercare. And that was 5 years after the surgery. The white coats have a business of following protocol. The protocol is created by those who want to be in business. I don't even have to repeat that. I think that was clear. So I slowed down. I don't know if you noticed. So, cancer, anxiety. If people suffer with anxiety very well, they could have low iron. I've met several people who are infused with iron because of anxiety. So blood work is key. not only blood work, but building your blood. Let's go back to the wheatgrass and other things. Again, the sea moss. I have a gentleman, Christian. He has the blue sea moss and the regular sea moss. A mixed breed, Christian, Rojo. We're all part of the Powerful Pioneers organization, which is a wonderful organization of like-minded people, really. Business, health and wellness, just blending life. And it's real-time connection, right, Mixed Breed? It's real-time connections.
Evadyne,
Very...
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can I add on to something that you said? I wanted to share this, and this is why it is important for people to know these different things that you're talking about. I want to reflect on what the young man was talking about he was throwing up and he lost his sight. And these are the things we talk about. This is why it's important for people to come up on Grown Folks Talking, especially so, because there's infinity of information up here that you can use. The reason why the young man lost his sight because he was throwing up, his problem is that he had leaky gut. Leaky gut, when you have leaky gut goes into your bloodstream. That's why we have a lot of these other diseases that will come out to your skin through leaky gut. And he lost his sight maybe because I can't say positively, absolutely, but I can tell you that I'm halfway there. What happens is when you have leaky gut, you have to cure the yeast. You have yeast in your stomach. That's what leaky gut is. And sugar feeds on that yeast. This is why we need to stop messing with that refined sugar, because that's what it feeds on. And then when you get the proper stuff that you need holistically to cure that leaky gut, that means you're clearing the bloodstream up. He lost his sight because it put mucus behind his eyes. Once he cleared up that leaky gut, the mucus went away and his sight came back. And that's why it is important to come up here on these different podcasts. It is important for you to come on our New Vision support group, because we have these type of informations that we share up there. And thank you. Once again, I rest.
Thank you very much. Mixed Breed, were you going to say something?
No, I wasn't going to say anything, except I don't know what I was going to say, but yeah, I lost my train of thought. But however,
well, I mentioned Powerful Pioneers and that it was real-time connections, and that's what we are all part of together.
For sure, absolutely. And the other thing, I think I was going to mention something in regards to the health and wellness. But yeah, our health starts and ends with us, and until we get to the age of adulthood where we can, where we're responsible for ourselves. And like we always say in the field, safety first. So it starts and ends with you. So whatever you put in is what you get out. And true wealth is health. Because without your health, you can't do anything. So I've learned that the hard way. So I'm more like conscious now of what I put in my system, and I'm just on a whole different journey now with the health and wellness, and the I should say the wake up call, was again, people passing from health issues from natural causes, stroke, diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, heart attacks. I mean, the list goes on. So that's in a nutshell kind of what I was hinting on. Powerful Pioneers is a community of resources, services, and network. So when the community is in lack, just like this platform, Grown Folks, and the other brother Leon, he was talking about his platform. These are platforms that are so essential, especially during times of like pandemics and things like, well, I call it the pandemics. These pandemics, because again, when the community is in lack, we come together to be resourceful. We come together to be the resource for the community. Now, let's say, for example, everything shuts down. Where are people going to go? What are they going to do? That's why, farming is important, producing your own food. Oh, I remember what I was going to say now. The powers that be, thank you, Sister Evadyne. The powers that be, they always use this fear thing, this fear factor, this fear monger. And if you know what fear is false evidence appearing to be real. So they allude to this fear factor, try to always scare you, like the lady that had cancer, and she they wanted to do this and do that. She's like, no, I'm good. Chemo is poison. Chemo is poison. So once you do certain type of invasive medical procedures, it may remove certain things, but at the same time, it may remove the bad stuff, but it may also remove the good stuff at the same time that you need, that your body needs. The nutrients, the cells, and the building blocks that the creator, the divine creator, graced you with at birth. So, people don't even know that soursop at one point, you can find soursop in the U.S. for years. I mean, I was looking for it, and I couldn't find it. Soursop only came back into the U.S., a couple years now? I don't remember what year, but it was banned from the U.S. for like 5 to 10 years. You couldn't find soursop here because they know it's one of the cures of cancer. It's one of the, soursop. Yeah. So
Thank you.
that's what I was going to say. And just got to, revert to our natural healing, because the creator never put us here with less than. He always, he put us here with everything that we need.
Genesis 1:28. I figured that out. I heard it on the show. Go ahead.
Everything. He never put us here with less than or with lack, or he always made sure he gave us everything we needed while we're here. For every single individual that's here. We don't anything. So don't believe the hype.
And we're all different. We're all different. We're not a herd. We're not all alike. Again, going back to our blood type, your blood type determines the type of food you should eat, what type of food is good for you, just like with the car. You don't put any kind of oil or transmission fluid in a car. So we are the greatest machines ever created. I really like to thank everybody who participated. I just want to go over, I have about 5 more minutes, just some of the other things that I put in. Okay, so diabetes. As Leon said, leave alone the sugar, the white processed sugar. Definitely leave that alone. Detoxing your body in order to reorder, to get rid of disorders, is really the first step. I heard drinking as hot as you can, plain water, the first thing in the morning when you first wake up. Now, you might work nights, so you might wake up during the day. First thing your body should have after your rest is hot water, because when your body is asleep, it is cleansing itself. So that hot water helps to flush out those toxins and helps to clear out those tubes in your pancreas. I don't know the exact name. I think they start with a C. But it helps to clean out the tubes in your body, right? The myth about cholesterol, there's a book, The Lies About Cholesterol. Normal, good cholesterol levels are 300 and below. I know, you said what? Yeah, 300 and below. Before that, whenever you go to them and they do your labs, if it's over 200, they want to give you a statin drug, which depletes magnesium from your body, which causes muscle disorders. Now, I don't know if you know like I know, but your brain and your heart are all muscles, right? So your body needs magnesium, which statin, cholesterol medication, depletes from your body. So you want to be mindful. Look it up. And again, like I said, when you go for lab work, the medical industry has one range for normal. But as a human, there are other ranges for normal. And it's all different for everybody. And let us know. Something is going to take us out of here, but we're not going to walk right into it. We're not going to walk into it if we can help it. You want to be mindful of what you're eating, of what you're breathing. I'll tell you a quick story about a lady who wanted to quit smoking. And this is what I heard today on Sirius as well, that the first thing you want to do is detox your body, eat healthy before you stop doing other things. Because if you try to quit smoking, but your body is full of toxins, those toxins are going to create urges for your body to either get the smoking or get the sugar. It's committed to doing something. So it's committed to craving something that's not going to be good for you. So on the show today, they recommended detoxing your body, getting rid of those cravings, stop eating the things that aren't good for you, and then it would be much easier possibly for you to stop smoking. But this lady, my antennas, right? She got in my car when I was Ubering. No, it was Accessoride Mobility. And she sat down, she kind of slumped down in the back. She had just lit a cigarette when I pulled up. But she got in without it, of course. That wouldn't happen. So she said, I really need to quit. So I said, do you really mean it? So she says, yeah. I said, okay. I said, are you familiar with ginger snap cookies? She said, yes. I said, get the cookies, break each cookie in 4 pieces. Every time you think you want a cigarette, put a piece of the cookie in your mouth and let it just dissolve slowly on your tongue. She screamed. It reminded me of the cartoons when we saw the whole roof pop off and the fire come out the person's head, right? She screamed so loud. She says, why did you say that? I said, because I believe it will work. She says, no. And she screamed and she rolled. Why did you say that? It scared her that I said that. I shared with her that I'm a foodie. I smoked once in first grade, lighting my mother's cigarette at the stove. It was nasty because I'm a foodie, and that was nasty. But I remember that taste. And to me, ginger snap cookies has that same flavor, that same taste as the tobacco, right? She was in shock because she loved ginger snaps, had not had them in over 20 years, and she bought 2 boxes the day before. It scared her itless. I love cussing, right? I keep saying that because you're going to hear me cuss one day. I do it so beautifully. But then I don't cuss you out. I just, add it in on occasion, like pineapple between 2 layers of cake and some coconut on top. So anyway, but it scared her that she purchased the ginger snaps after 2 decades. And now I'm telling her it will help her quit smoking. She thought she was going to eat them the night before, but she never opened them. She was like, oh my gosh, she says, my sister has diabetes. What can you tell me about it, right? But let me share. What time is it? 6 o'clock. It's time for me to go. Kidneys, high blood pressure, medication, and diabetes. Kidney failure is associated with high blood pressure medication and also diabetic medication. It's not that the diabetes is causing your kidneys to fail. It's the medication. It's not that your high blood pressure is causing your kidneys to fail. It's the medication. Because the medication for both of them, especially the high blood pressure, it makes you urinate 1,900 times a day. Well, you're overworking your kidneys. You're overworking your kidneys. And last, her name is Barbara O'Neill. I was trying to think of her name for this whole show. Please YouTube Barbara O'Neill. She has a wonderful show. She teaches very well, and she has this video on salt and water. Celtic salt and water. It's almost like a miracle blend. The Celtic salt, if you ever had a hot pretzel from the cart and that salt that's on it, usually called it rock salt, and it might be, but that's what it tastes like because I bought some. She said the reason people drink water and then constantly have to go to the bathroom is because the water is not getting in your cells. The water needs salt, not table salt, which is salt, glass, and sand. Get rid of that. But it needs valuable salt. So Celtic salt is the first, or Himalayan salt if you can. But Celtic salt is the first choice. Water needs salt to enter the cells. Other than that, it's just hanging out on the surface and you're going to just urinate it out all day long. Evadyne with company, talk worth listening to. This is Evadyne. Anybody have anything to say before I close out?
Hey, Sister Evadyne, I got a quick question. So even if you sip water versus gulping it, it's still not going to enter the cells? Because, some people may argue, I know an elder, he says, you're not supposed to drink water. I'm like, okay, it may sound crazy to most people. He was like, only if you're thirsty. He said, people think he's crazy, but he says people they don't understand the body like he does. He's up there in his 70s. But to my experience, I know when you sip water, because the body, the cells, the body can only do but so much at one time. And it can only absorb but so much. So when you sip water, these little droplets, it'll get into the cells quicker. I think the catalyst is the salt, that Celtic salt. And a lot of the salt that we use today has heavy metals. So that's another thing too. So I want to know, do you think sipping water would be a better option versus gulping it or chugging it down? Unless you're really thirsty.
I will check on that, but I will say that I don't know if it's a gulping or a sipping, but just the water. Like people drink. Some people will drink down a bottle of water, especially in the summer. They'll drink down a bottle at one time. I hear you, and it makes sense that if you sip it, it will absorb better because it's not an overflow. It will absorb better. So we'll check that out. We'll do our homework. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah. And the next thing is we gotta come up with a tips book, man. Everybody come together, and this is a beautiful platform, by the way. Thank you for having me on and sending me the invite. Beautiful platform, beautiful situation. And I'm thankful for everybody that's on the call too that shared their piece. We gotta come up with like a little tips book, man. Tips for health,
So it's interesting. I do have, my book, I have two books. Suicide is a Serious Killer. Let's End It Today. And Mind is to Mental. I sent you. Mind is to Mental as teeth are to dental, and we all have a mind. I sent you the ebook, correct?
Yes, I believe you did. Yes.
Okay. So I do have a chapter, and I have a quick resource where I give a lot of information, a lot of resources. And then also, I'll give this to everyone who's listening. If you go to nfspcn.com, nfspcn.com, that's Networking for Success, powercardnetwork.com. That is my thank you gift and my business kind of portal that I share. It's in every book. I invite businesses to come on board. There's a little bit of fee for businesses to come and be a part of the portal. But if you go into that portal, you will have the two ebooks. And the ebooks do have resources for information. And I'm always adding. But you're absolutely right, Mixed Breed. We need to have something where people can go and say, click, click, and then have it categorized where they can actually get what they want and how they want it. How I say it, physical, as well as virtual. I love virtuality because it's galactic, all over the galaxy. The people on the spaceship could even go on and see what we're doing and hear what we're saying, I don't know if we can help them with that gravity issue, but hey, they could probably help us with a few things. Thank you very much for coming on. Thank you, everybody. Jay Sean, Glenn, Vito, Forrest. August 10th, Grown Folk Talking, Express Yourself is having a health and wellness event in Newark, New Jersey. 12 noon, Salvation Army, I think North 9, or South 9. It'll be clarified. You can go again to, grownfolktalking.com is a website that we have now. Also, the YouTube, Grown Folk Talking Express Yourself. You're at the right place where you see the hot mic. My website, networkingforsuccess.info. Networkingforsuccess.info. You go to promo, you can actually get the books as well. You can get the books wholesale. You can bring me in as a speaker. If I learn how to speak. But Jay Sean, absolute, and thank you. And I'm looking forward to putting together something where we can watch, even if it's virtual, or watch and talk and meet and greet kind of thing. So many people want to do so many things in their lives. Marcus, you're on. You want to tell us quickly about your show, the third? Well, Can We Talk with Adrian? I'm going to wait for you to unmute. Can We Talk with Adrian is on Fridays at 6 p.m. Marcus is the co-host, and here he goes.
Okay, yeah, I had to unmute. Thank you, Evadyne. By the way, awesome show as usual. I appreciated it, and I really appreciate everybody who chimed in with their information. It's really, really something special here. And like Brother Leon was saying, you know, more and more people should chime in, and I think that they will, because there is a cornucopia, so to speak, like a buffet of everything here for everybody. But to my show where I co-host with Adrian, Can We Talk with Adrian, comes on Fridays at 6 p.m. And the third Friday of every month, I co-host with Adrian. I talk about, my topic basically is paradigm shifts. That can basically applies to everything with the thought. Everything that we thought, everything that we think, everything that we act on based on that. And basically what I do is I deal with issues that deal with the mind and with thought and with actions based on those thoughts. Right now we're dealing with community, neighborhoods, and even block associations, and the power that is held there at the local level, which actually ascends up. So we're dealing with that right now, and that's every third Friday of the month. And this month in particular, my topic is going to deal with specifically government and politics, but we're going to come from the side of civics, because we've missed that. We haven't had that. And they did take that out of our elementary schools and our junior high schools and even our high schools, and replaced it with other stuff. But we're going to come from that, because we definitely need a refresher on that moving forward. So everybody, if you'd like to tune in, we'd love to have you. And it's an open forum. So everybody come to the boardroom, sit at the table, and we mash it up and we share ideas and information. We offer options to issues that we have. So that's every third Friday, 6 p.m. Can We Talk with Adrian, co-host I'm Marcus, and we'll be dealing with paradigm shifts. Thanks, Friday.
And that's 6 Eastern Standard Time, people. And like I said, there's an infinity of information up on this on these on Grown Folks Talk and Express Yourself. Great show, Evadyne, as usual. Not disappointed at all. Never am gonna come up here.
I like it. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, take this tissue.
I really want to thank everyone for coming on and participating. And again, Grown Folk Talk and Express Yourself. We're here to express ourselves and allow you to express yourself and to share information across the board. People say no one's perfect. I say we are perfectly who we are supposed to be, and we are always becoming. So with that, I say, may every day be your best day. Live heaven on earth.